What's up YouTube, it's Geoffrey again. Today we're doing yet another Creepypasta, and this is going to be my 64th YouTube video. And today we're going to narrate Plankton Gets Served. So let's get right into it. I'm sure many have heard of the lost episode Creepypastas. They're usually an incredibly graphic episode that conveys such fear for children that was never aired. However, someone managed to sneak a viewing or owns one of the tapes. The most popular example of this is Squidward's suicide, in which case Squidward commits suicide, hence the title. Of course, all these stories are fake, and yet I remember a SpongeBob episode that was altered heavily, but still remains in circulation today. This is One Course Meal from Season 7. In the episode, Mr. Krabs finds out that Plankton is scared of whales, and uses it to his advantage. This is one of the least popular episodes of the show due to the dark nature of the episode, even though the episode was heavily altered. Now, how I saw this episode before I was edited, it was simple, really. This is one of those 7 SpongeBob episodes that was revealed on the internet before it aired on TV. Always a big fan of the show, I was excited of the idea of having a SpongeBob episode premiere on the internet before television. I repeatedly reloaded the Nickelodeon page, and finally the episode came up. It was called Plankton Gets Served, though it was eventually changed. Most of this episode is identical to the one circulated today. Plankton manages to break into the Krusty Krab and ties up Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. As he is about to finally get the secret formula from SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs' daughter Pearl walks in. This terrifies the crap out of Plankton and causes him to run out. Plankton later claims that his ancestors were attacked by whales, and that's why he fears them so. Mr. Krabs realizes the fear that Plankton has and decides to use it against him. He dresses up as Pearl and begins to follow Plankton around, frightening him. Plankton decides he can no longer take it and decides to make the ultimate decision. Plankton decides to commit suicide. Yes, this is still in the show today, you are free to watch it. Plankton waits for the bus as he lies down in the street waiting to get run over. That's when SpongeBob comes over to try to convince him to continue to live. This is where the alteration in the two style begins. Plankton fails to heed SpongeBob's words and remains there. In the altered version that was shown, SpongeBob tells Plankton it was just Mr. Krabs as Pearl the entire time and he gets up. In the uncut version, SpongeBob says the same thing, but Plankton refuses to believe him. SpongeBob decides the only thing to do is show him the truth to drag Mr. Krabs outside. As soon as he leaves, the typical red bus comes speeding along. Plankton gets up and watches it hit him as everything fades to darkness. Plankton finds himself standing on a single platform overlooking darkness. In the darkness, he sees whales, all looking up at him. They are members of his family he can faintly make out, calling for him to jump down. Plankton looks above and sees a light he can scarcely believe. This would seem to represent heaven and hell. Plankton, resigned to his fate, jumps and plunges into the darkness. This is when the episode ends and the traditional credits for the show are shown, parallel to Plankton's descent to madness. Now, some of you might say you saw the show as soon as it came available online. Apparently not quick enough. After seeing the episode online, I reloaded the page to find the altered version shown on the website. I kept reloading, curious of how I saw the first version. The only answer I can imagine from my viewing of the episode was that the creators uploaded the wrong file, and moments after uploading it, recognized such. I may be the only one who saw this style of the episode. I truly do not know the sick ambitions the creators of SpongeBob had in mind with this episode. Why would a kid's show portray death? Why would a kid's show portray heaven and hell? No, nevertheless, the unaltered version is impossible to find. I searched as hard as I can, and I failed to find anything legitimate about the episode that I had saw. People told me that I saw the altered version, and that they too were surprised at the dark themes portrayed in the episode. Now, nevertheless, I knew what I saw. I know people would fail to believe me, people would accuse me, trying to scare people. People would say I have no evidence, there are no photos, there is no video evidence of this occurrence. I only saw it once, and it never occurred to me to do such. I know the truth, and I want other people to know as well. Maybe someone out there saw this episode as well as I and can confirm it. Until then, I hope you enjoyed reading about my experience. Well, that one was short and sweet. Now, I'm kind of surprised how this episode doesn't have the blood and gore elements, because it's stupid if blood and gore is used incorrectly. Now, the only kind of cliche is that this episode, which is called One Course Meal, actually does exist out there in the SpongeBob universe. However, it is the altered version, but it's not the one where Plankton literally dies and gets hit by a bus, but he tries to attempt suicide. Plankton does get back up and, finds out that it was just Mr. Krabs in a pearl suit. So, and yes, I will do more of these stories in the future. Like, I know how most of you would want me to do Squidward Suicide, but I'm not sure if I might do that because of time constraints. But I'll see what I could do. Now, I might also do some culinary videos, like how to make chocolate molds, like eventually in the future as well. So yeah, stay tuned for culinary videos. What kind of story would you want me to do next in the future? Feel free to leave a comment and suggestion in the comment section below. This is Geoffrey Sambursky, and I am out.